So she somehow did the musical math in her head of, like, what's gonna translate to the same number of beats so it flows in the same melody. So she is a genius. And it's never addressed again.
Ever again.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business.
Mamma mia, here I go again. My
Of the music
We just talked for like 15 minutes.
About a whole bunch of different topics. I watched this movie this morning.
I hate the platform that we had to watch this on. I hate
Dailymotion. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Like, I'm grateful it exists as a resource to watch things, because, like, literally it was the only option. Everything I found that was like, watch this, it just rerouted it
To the
to
1936.
the Ethel Merman one. Yeah. And I was like, this is false advertising, completely different plots. But about every 10 minutes, I was interrupted by 2 ads.
That were so loud.
Every single time. They were so loud. The first ad kept the audio and dialogue playing underneath it, so I was hearing, like, Bing Crosby singing while, like, a fucking Trix ad was playing.
Oh no!
And then sometimes it was the same exact ad afterwards, and sometimes it was, like, a completely different ad. And then it would go back to where it had interrupted me, but it was, like, every 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not my favorite platform, but, you know, in a pinch, it'll do.
It in a pinch, it does its job.
Yeah.
We've given it away.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hi.
dear listeners, intrepid heroes. Welcome back to 5678, a movie musical podcast. We are your chaotic co-hosts. I am Anna.
I'm Grace.
And we are setting to the high seas in this 1956 film musical comedy, Anything Goes, starring Bing Crosby, Donald O'Connor, Mitzi Gaynor, Jean Mayer, and a bunch of French sailors with very great timing.
Oh man, they were
so
fabulous. I laughed
so
every time. Oh my god.
Okay. I have a history with Anything Goes.
Yes.
Not this plot. You don't know anything.
Nope.
For the first time.
Yeah. I obviously know the main songs of Anything Goes, who at this point doesn't, but I had never seen a production, I've never listened to the full cast album all the way through of, like, the musical. I had no knowledge going into this, and so whenever Anna said, this is not the plot, it meant nothing to me.
Yeah, so we are doing the 1956 Anything Goes. It is not the same plot as the stage production or the 1936 film. It is a completely rewritten plot, and honestly, Anything Goes, while having fantastic Cole Porter songs, is a bit of a bonkers plot, and perpetrates a lot of racist stereotypes.
Yeah.
That are not acceptable in today's modern age. And because this film completely changed the plot, didn't have that problem, really.
And a few other problems, but not that problem.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is a flawless film by any means, but, like, just take everything you know about Anything Goes, keep a couple songs, throw everything else out.
Everything else away.
The only similarities is that they both take place on a boat.
And they both have Bing Crosby.
And they both have Bing Crosby, and they have some of the same songs.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Alright, should we begin?
I would love nothing more.
So we begin with our overture. Big orchestra, love it. We pan over
cast.
We pan over a bunch of marquees that sort of walk us through all of the credits. That takes a while. Then we cut to, like, a post-show party that's going on backstage.
I'm gonna interrupt you already just because I noted where it said Screen Story and Screenplay by Sidney Sheldon, based on the play. And I was just like, you needed big quotation marks.
Based.
Based.
Loosely based on.
Inspired by. Anyway, we cut to Broadway. We are at the Knickerbocker Theater. It is after closing night of a show called My Kind of Music, starring Bill Benson.
Yeah.
We go backstage. It is the after party. We meet Bill Benson. This is Bing Crosby. He's a leading man
Flirty.
in musicals. He's a big deal. His name bears weight in this world.
Yes.
He is immediately approached by his agent, Victor, at this party, who is already trying to get him to sign
Bless
a contract
Victor.
for his next show. Victor is one of our waiters.
Yes, he's one of our 2 waiters.
He's trying to get Bill to sign his contract for his next show. It's going to be a double header, but they haven't found his co-star. And it's kind of an impossible thing because they're looking for a younger guy who can sing, dance, and act.
Oh my goodness. In New York, where would you possibly find one of those?
It's really slim pickings here.
Suddenly, a commotion. So they go see, and it's Donald O'Connor, aka Ted Danson?
No, Ted Adams. Ted Danson.
I thought it was a Ted D. I always heard Ted, like, as in, like, Danson.
Hold on.
Like,
Hold on. First of all,
I know who Ted Danson is. I know who Ted Danson
do you?
is.
Okay.
Yes!
Okay.
Bow tie.
All right, I'm checking.
around.
Ted Adams. Wikipedia verifies it.
I literally never heard the name
IMDb
Adams.
verifies it.
I listened to this entire movie, and the name
No, it
Adams
is-
was never once said.
I'm sorry, you gotta unplug your ears. Ted Adams is a young, dashing TV star sensation. The noise outside is like a bunch of like adoring fans kind of following him, wanting autographs. He signs, and then he joins the party, and again, there's like a little bit of a commotion. Yada, yada, yada. Exactly. Bill has stepped away, but Victor goes up to Ted, and we quickly learn Victor has already promised this other co-star part to Ted, and he says he's already run it by Bill. This is a lie. This is the first of many lies in this film. Ted, Donald O'Connor, goes up to Bill and keeps trying to tell him, like, oh, I'm a huge fan. I'm so excited to work with you on this show. But Victor keeps cutting him off so he doesn't spill the beans because Victor has not actually asked or told Ted.
Well, and also thus begins
Bill
like the whole younger man versus older man. So he's like, "Oh, I've loved you since I was this high," and like, you know, points to the ground and like, you know, calls him Pops a lot, and the other guy calls him Junior a lot. It's just a lot of like age jokes.
Bill is interrupted. An accompanist asks him to like try out a song for this new show that supposedly they're still casting the co-star for. Yeah. The song is "You Gotta Give People Hoke." I kept hearing hope. It is hoke. Hoke. Yeah. And Ted joins in,
Surprise,
having already prepared the song.
They start doing the song. It's basically like a duet version of Make 'Em Laugh from Singin' in the Rain. It's still good, but it's the same thing, basically.
It's that with props, essentially.
Yeah, they have this whole section in the middle, and one of these is my moment of joy, where they have these little bits that they do that are just like 10-second things that are supposed to make the audience laugh. The one that got me, that I had to pause because I was laughing so hard, was whenever Donald O'Connor comes out with like 8 tambourines and throws them up like he's about to start juggling and immediately fails, and all of these tambourines just crash to the floor and he leaves the stage. That is 100% my type of humor, and I loved every moment of it.
It's just a lot of great physical comedy, really well thought out, and this was a great film of physical comedy. This was a funny movie. All right.
Yeah.
The song ends. They have given the people hope. Everyone applauds. Bill, Ted, and Victor kind of move to the side. Bill suggests to Victor, being like, you know, Ted would be a good fit for the show. And Victor almost gets away with it, but Ted fully reveals that, it's already decided. I'm already in the show. And Bill's like, I see what's going
Victor's
on
like,
here.
I knew that you'd like him, though.
Yeah. But they are very excited to work with each other. But the next problem that arises is that the show needs a leading lady. They don't have a leading lady. It's not cast yet. They're supposed to start rehearsal 8 weeks from now. But first, Ted has to go to France. And Bill's like, I'm going to Europe as well. Ted is called over by one of his lackeys, for lack of a better word, being like, you gotta get rid of the fans in the alley. Like, they're causing a ruckus. So Ted gets up, he bids adieu to Bill and Victor, and he goes to deal with them. Bill turns to Victor, and he's like, love the kid, I want to make sure he has second billing. And you know what? People come to hear me sing, but we'll throw him a couple songs. We'll be generous.
Yeah, he shouldn't just be standing there.
Yeah. Bill gets up and goes and dances with a lady.
And then Ted comes back in and tells Victor the same thing, basically, where he's like,
exact
listen,
same
his
thing.
name should be below mine because I'm the TV star. I'm the one that people are going to want to come and see. And you know what? I'll take all of the ballads because, you know, his range isn't that good. And I'm like, that is Bing Crosby.
How
you bite
dare
your
you.
tongue, sir. And then he says we have to find a leading lady who doesn't clash with my personality. I was like, oh, wow. That's a rough sentence that you just said, sir.
Yes, it is. And then Ted scurries off to go dance or do whatever. And Victor has a problem now. Oh, shucks.
Oh, man. This poor manager just doing his best.
He's a bad waiter. We cut to England. Bong, bong, bing, bong goes the bridge. We're on the West
goes
End.
the bridge! You know that famous ringing bridge in London?
We hear Big Ben, but we see the bridge. So I just wrote, my notes verbatim say, bong, bong, English bridge. All caps.
Oh my god, I'm crying. Okay.
I'm one page into my 11 pages of notes. Oh my gosh.
All right.
We are on the West End. We are seeing a show called The Girl from Gotham. At first I thought it was a ballet.
'Tis not.
'Tis not. Bill sneaks in. He's late to the show. Very disgruntled British audience members are like,
This old lady.
Yeah. I'm like, how dare you? He sits down in his seat and unknowingly sits next to someone he knows, question mark?
No, he doesn't know
I'm
him.
confused by this. Okay.
No, he's just a chatty guy.
Okay. The ballet sequence ends, and suddenly it's Mitzi Gaynor. I love Mitzi Gaynor.
I love Mitzi Gaynor.
And she performs the song, Anything Goes. She's in like a bright red leotard. Everyone is colorful. There are fans. And it feels very vaudeville in like old performative.
Over the top.
Yeah. Like no business, like show business.
Yeah, and
kind
I
of a
found,
thing.
so I had, and this may be something we can go further into and sing in, but I found that her version of this song was less on voice than I wanted it to be.
Oh, 100% agree.
Okay, great.
And what's funny is I love Mitzi Gaynor, and I wasn't super impressed with her voice in this film.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It was very breathy, but maybe we're just used to like Ethels and Patties
like the
belting
big ol'...
this. Yeah.
It's a different version.
Yeah. I rewatched Patti LuPone's Tony performance of Anything Goes. She can't dance, but God can she sing. Just breaking the sound
it just
barrier
comes
left
out of
and
her.
right. All right. Two things that I was just like, am I going to be grumbled by this? Anything Goes is the big number at the end of Act 1 in the stage production. I was like, we are 10 minutes into this film.
This is the second song.
Yeah, this is the second song. This is also the point where I was like, all right, Anna, maybe let's not get grumbled yet, because Lord knows the stage show is heavily flawed. Let's not compare them. They have very few things in common.
Yeah.
But the show ends. We learn that Mitzi Gaynor, her name is Patsy Blair. She is obviously an actress, singer.
So Bill is in the audience, and he's very impressed by her performance, and he asks the friendly guy sitting next to him, he was like, who is that? And he's like, oh, I don't know, Patsy somebody. And then, like, points to her name on the playbill. So... cut to her dressing room. She's getting ready. Suddenly there's a knock on the door. She's like, oh, come on in, thinking that it's just going to be someone that she knows. In enters this star. Now, can you imagine? You've just had a show. It's gone well, but, like, you're expecting someone else, and then Norm Lewis walks into your dressing room and is like, it was amazing. I want you to be the lead in my next show. That's how I felt.
I would...
Like, that's what this emotional moment was for her, because she's, like, very starstruck and overwhelmed and just like, oh my god, I know who you are. Like, I should sit down. So he basically tells her how wonderful she is and how he wants her to be the lead in his next show, and the next show's in New York. She says she would love to, but she can't go home. She unfortunately can't go back to America, and it's not clear why. Just then, this guy who is sitting next to Bill in the audience comes in, and surprise, surprise, it's her dad. Now, it's explained why Bill is at this play to begin with, and I don't know if this is just insane or literally the best con that's ever been pulled. So apparently Bill was supposed to go to a dinner party, but he got a call that the host was sick and the dinner was canceled. Then, coincidentally, he got free tickets and a ride to tonight's show, in which he was seated next to this guy who turns out to be Patsy's dad. Obviously, the dad set this entire thing up.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad. Anyway, Patsy reminds her dad that the show is in America, and he said, you know what, I've decided it's time for us to go home. I'll get everything all straightened out. At which point I said, that's something a gangster would say.
I got it all figured out. I'll handle
Don't you worry,
this.
I'll
take care
get
of
it
this.
straightened out. And I'm like, will you, Sir Gangster?
Never trust a man when he says that. I've got it taken care of. I don't believe you.
No, I don't believe you.
But Patsy agrees to be in Bill's show. Sorry, I gotta try really hard to not say Ted.
Bill and Ted. Excellent adventure all around.
It's funny, I never thought of that until now. Bill is over the moon that Patsy has agreed to be in his show, but he says, I've got to go to Paris first. I'm meeting Ted. Then we'll all take the ship back to America together.
Oh, and also, he's like, oh, Ted Adams. I wrote Ted Danson, don't worry about it. Ted Adams is going to be in this as well. And she's like, oh, who is that? And he's like, thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah. Now I'm just imagining Ted Danson. So I'm definitely getting the vibe at this point that, like, it's maybe not safe for her father to go back to the States.
Yeah, something's going on.
Yeah, something's fishy. We cut to Paris, specifically Cafe Monique. We see Ted backstage. He is with a French woman. She's getting dressed for the performance. She's like behind a partition screen.
Yeah.
And he's saying, like, oh, I'm so glad that you've agreed to be the leading lady in this show. Bill's gonna be so happy that I signed you. And I wrote, in parenthetical, uh-oh, hijinks. This is our conflict.
So, but basically, he's invited Bill to come and see this performance, and so he's like, make sure that you do the number in English so that he will be wowed. And I'm like, I'm sorry. There are very few songs in which you can just transpose it into another language and it still makes sense with the tempo and the melody.
And yet it happens.
What are you talking about? Sing it in English. It happens again later, and I was so mad. Also, all of her chorus boys then had to sing in English. I'm like, what if they didn't speak English? This is Paris. Anyway.
This is Gabby Duvall. She is a dancer, singer, actress. We cut to the orchestra. It's kind of like a dinner club.
Yeah, think Victor Victoria.
Exactly. Bill meets Ted, sit at their table. The show starts. Gabby comes out on stage and starts to perform the song, I Get a Kick Out of You. I wrote, again, she is so French.
I wrote also, it's a very French performance.
All of her backup dancers are, like, shirtless with blazers and bow ties and top
spats, tuxes, and no shirts, and I was there for the aesthetic.
I wanted to point out the contrast between the performances of Gabby and Patsy. Gabby's performance, as well as her dancers' performances, is very jazzy. It's a little fussy. It's very slinky.
Angular.
Yeah, versus Patsy's is very old.
Classic.
Vaudeville circuit. Clearly, Gabby Duvall is a fantastic dancer. This actress is a fantastic dancer, and they've put her in these god-awful heels.
Oh my god. She did fouettes in 4-inch
She
heels,
did fouettes!
I was impressed.
I was so impressed, but I was also like, I can tell how good of a dancer you are, and the heels are impeding, not just your movement, but, like, her extension.
Yes.
And, like, she couldn't move the same way as she could if she had been in point shoes or any flats. These were, like, fucking clunky heels, and I'm so mad for her. But yeah, she did fouettes.
Oh yeah, in 4-inch heels.
In high heels.
Pumps. Wild.
Ugh.
The number ends. Bill and Ted are at the table. Bill agrees that she's very talented, but then he says, oh, but I've already signed a girl in London who's going to be the lead. And Ted is shocked. Bill is like, well, we agreed back in New York that if I found a girl, then I would just sign her. And we all agreed that I was going to be the one to find someone. And I did, so here we are.
Does Ted say that he signed Gabby?
No, he doesn't say anything yet. He's just like, oh, no. And then Gabby shows up while he's stuttering.
Bill makes eye contact with her, instant heart eyes, like deep attraction between them. They speak French to each other like instantly. And Ted tries to get her to leave because he's realizing he's completely put his foot in this and tries to get the conversation away from the show. And then Gabby says to Bill, being like, do you think my English is good enough for Broadway? And Bill realizes Ted has promised this girl a leading role. She thinks the part is a French part.
Yeah. Well, she also says, and I love this, it's so very French, she's like, I will be fabulous, and it is an ironclad contract. Just like, amazing. Yes. I love it.
She mentions that her contract is ironclad, which is like,
it's the only kind to have. Just like, yes, queen.
She's also getting on the boat with them tomorrow to go to America.
Now, at first, Bill seems like Ted isn't sure if Bill is going to say yes or no, and so Ted is like, oh, we should all go celebrate, and so Gabby leaves to go and get the rest of her stuff, her bag and stuff, and Bill tells Ted, it's like, listen, you charmed her into doing this show, now you can charm her right out of it. I already found the lead, and she's coming to America with us on the boat tomorrow. So he leaves, and Gabby comes back out and is like, oh no, where'd Bill go? Ted tells her that Bill is thrilled for her to do the show. You know, like a liar.
Like a liar.
Honestly, the amount of lying that these men do to these women throughout
they
the
deserve
entire
everything
show.
that comes to them.
Oh my god. Anyway, cut to an ocean liner.
We see Patsy and her father on the boat. We see them walk like down the corridor and like they're being followed, ? But it's last call for visitors. Very similar to
it was one of our older ones. Oh, Night at the Opera?
Yeah, very similar to Night at the Opera. They're like, if you don't have a ticket,
like,
get off the boat.
Get the fuck off the boat. And then the band is just like,
the band leaves. Patsy and her father run into Bill, and Ted walks by. Bill introduces Ted to Patsy and her father. Bill's like, this is the leading lady, the American one that I signed. And Bill sees that Ted has come alone, and he assumes that he got rid of Gabby.
Then Ted and Patsy make eye contact.
Instant heart eyes, very similar to Bill and Gabby. Side note, Mitzi Gaynor's eyebrows, impeccable. Incredible.
Oh, yeah. On point.
Phenomenal.
Sculpted.
So sculpted. Bill mentions they can get started on rehearsals right away. He has some rooms reserved for them later that afternoon.
Who's the director of this show? We don't need directors where we're going.
Listen, very shaky sweater.
It's like, where's the stage manager?
The stage... I had so...
We're just gonna block this number ourselves. We don't need a choreographer. We don't need a director. We don't need a stage manager. We got this. Just 2 actors in a room. We'll make it work.
And it's gonna go to Broadway. Instantly. No out-of-town run. No previews. Straight to opening night.
Oh, man. The realism in this movie is what I loved most about it.
That's what I came to this musical comedy for. Realism.
Realism. Okay.
All right.
Get it together, Anna.
You get it together. Bill says he's got some rooms reserved later for them to start rehearsals in as soon as possible. Patsy is excited. Just then Ted sees Gabby's luggage with her name emblazoned on the side being wheeled past by a porter. Because he didn't get rid of Gabby. He flings his body in front of the name. And he's like, I'll meet you guys later, as he like shuffles along with the luggage. So Bill doesn't see.
Yeah.
The boat leaves. Patsy and Bill are standing together. Ted and Gabby are standing together on a lower deck. Cut to the sea. The boat is at sea.
Yeah, and then they're in a rehearsal room.
Patsy and Bill are in a rehearsal room. Ted
and then
is
Gabby
MIA
and Ted are in
because
another
Bill
one.
can't reach him by phone, and it's because Ted and Gabby are in the immediate next door rehearsal room. They're just like in gymnasium, essentially, of this
it's
boat.
A gym.
It's a gym. 2 identical separate
I have rehearsed
gyms.
in weirder spaces.
Oh, no. I'm not saying it's weird to rehearse in a gym. I just think it's weird that there are like 2 twin gymnasiums separated by a wall.
Gymnasiums by one wall. Maybe, okay, given the era, maybe it's like the men's gym and the women's gym.
Okay, yeah, you know what? I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Ted...
I'm making things
So, Bill can't reach Ted by phone. because he's not in his cabin because he's rehearsing next door. Ted and Gabby also start to rehearse, and Ted makes an excuse for Bill. He's like, there was traffic. What?
What?
You're in the ocean.
You're on a boat. All right, so both couples begin to rehearse the song, You're the Top. There is one moment in which Bill has a line, says, you're the smile of the Mona Lisa. First off, the Mona Lisa notoriously doesn't have a large smile. Second off...
Listen, are you going to come after Cole
maybe.
Porter?
We'll see. Second off, then Bing Crosby draws a smiley face on a wall, and it is the most horrific smiley face I've ever seen. It is the funniest thing.
Patsy's reaction to the smiley face funny. And how bad it is one of my moments of joy. It's so... She looks horrified.
Horrified. He's like, this is what you look like. And she's like, dear God.
I had that in bold. That is one of my... Listen, the lyrics of You're the Top have never made sense.
It's so weird.
Honestly, some of the songs make sense.
Most of them don't.
Blow Gabriel Go and You're the Top.
No.
Anything go. Like, the lyrics makes no sense.
We're not here for the lyrics.
We're not here to come for Cole Porter.
No. We'll do that whenever we do the 36 Anything Goes.
There's a great couple shots in this song where we've zoomed out. We're seeing both rehearsals happening simultaneously. Bing Crosby and Mitzi Gaynor can, like, kind of dance.
Mitzi Gaynor can dance. She's doing her best with Bing Crosby.
Yes, but they pale in comparison to Jean-Marie and Donald O'Connor next door.
Who are both stunning
dancers. They can,
dancers.
capital D, all caps, dance.
All caps dance. There is no one single capital. It's an all caps dance.
It is all caps dance.
It's fabulous. It's very fun to watch. It reminded me of, like, the dance-off at the gym where you get the two different couples in their own worlds dancing. And again, like, you know, Anita and Bernardo versus Riff and What's-Her-Face Graziella. It's kind of the same vibe of just, like, one couple is obviously way better at this.
Yeah.
So we cut to a fancy dinner with the captain.
Yes, we are in the formal dining room of this ocean liner. It's like formal dress. Patsy, Bill, and her father have been invited to dine at the captain's table with a bunch of, like, other people.
Fancy people. Patsy's dad is being weird. And they can't decide on what his business is. And I was more like, he's a gangster. Because he's like, I'm in timber, and she's like, he's in steel. Like,
yeah, they can't get their story straight on what her father does.
Yeah.
Just then,
who should enter?
Bill sees Ted walk into the formal dining room, arm in arm with Gabby, and realized he's been lied to.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
Yeah. They've also been invited to dine with the captain. I don't know who was in charge of these invitations, but
truly,
they've been invited to dine at the captain's table as well. They, like, shift around chairs, so Gabby sits next to Bill. Patsy sits next to Ted. So Patsy and Gabby are across the table from each other, and they're trying to get to know each other. They're trying to be friends.
Hello.
And be like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm in the theater. Like, oh, I'm also in the theater as well.
I just got cast in a new play. Oh, what play? And the guys are like, oh, no.
They just keep speaking over them, cutting them off, interrupting them to just being like, yeah, like, the weather.
And then Patsy's like, oh, I need to go freshen up. Do you want to come with me? And Gabby's about to go with him, and they're like, no, they can never speak together.
They can never be together in the same room.
Never have a scene together. I wanted them to have a scene together so bad. Anyway, the music starts, and the guys stop them.
The men are like, oh, you're gonna miss the first dance if you go to the bathroom now. Gabby asks Bill to dance, because she's attracted to him.
Yep.
And Patsy is like, well, I guess it's Sadie Hawkins night, so she invites Ted to dance.
Yes.
And Bill and Ted try to keep them as far apart on the dance floor as possible so they can't talk about anything.
Oh my god, it's awful.
Oh, and Gabby has a great line, because she sees that Bill is distracted, like, trying to, like, keep conversation away from Ted and Patsy, or just, like, keep them physically apart. And she says, if you're with a girl like me and you're preoccupied, that means you don't know about a girl like me.
Yeah.
Or something along the lines like that. And I was just like...
So great.
I had issues with her acting and just, like, the way the character's written, but, like, this character had fantastic lines.
She had fantastic lines, and honestly, justice for her. She does nothing wrong the entire play.
It's just, like, a strong female
the
lead.
Entire
like,
time. Absolutely. I loved her. Anyway, Gabby is flirting with, I keep wanting to say Bing. Bill. she's flirting with Bill, and she's like, I have something for you, and she leaves. And at that point, he turns to Ted, and he's like, get over here, we gotta talk. And Ted's like, okay,
You're
so
in
sorry,
deep
Patsy, I gotta go. And Patsy's like, okay, can you meet me in like 15 minutes up on the deck? And he's like, yes, unless I've been thrown overboard, and then like runs away. So he starts chatting, and like Ted is like,
Bill
oh,
and
well,
Ted
can't we just add in another part? And he's like, the only other woman in the play is a 62-year-old Swedish pastry chef. What is this play?
I don't know, but I'm interested. Ted tries to squeeze Gabby in, but like to no avail. Bill definitely pulls rank. He goes, you need to fire Gabby.
Yeah.
But Ted says, no, she's in love with me. No, she's not.
Absolutely not. He's like, you can tell because French women like to give gifts, and Gabby immediately appears and gives a gift to Bill.
A gift. And she gives him the tobacco that he had mentioned earlier that he really likes and it's really hard to
you,
get.
Dear listener, we apologize. We're bad at this.
Yeah, it's a very minor plot point, but like she has somehow managed to
get this rare thing that he wanted.
Yeah.
Bill then thanks her, and then he leaves. We cut to Ted meeting up with Patsy. So she's up on a deck chair with a blanket, which makes sense because it's fucking cold in the North Atlantic.
There was traffic in the middle of the ocean.
So
I'm never gonna let that go. It's so funny.
So Patsy starts to ask Ted about him and Gabby. She's like, you arrived with her at dinner. You don't have to answer. I'm not really asking. Don't worry about it. But like, are you together? But like, you don't have to answer. Like, it's all very silly and cute.
And Ted's like, no. She's a friend of Bill's.
I want to explain it to you. She's a friend of a friend and nothing to do with me. And then Patsy starts to explain how important the show is to her.
Yeah, she says she's so grateful to be in this show. It's it's a show that she could only have dreamt about. And he tries to talk her out of being grateful, because at this point he's still trying to talk her out of doing the show.
Yeah.
But then they get to know each other and they talk about their favorite sports. It's established very quickly that they are very different people. She likes to swim in the cold ocean and he likes to swim in a warm pool.
Yeah. But they both like jazz, and there's a connection. He keeps like scooching her chair closer to him, which is very funny.
Yeah, her deck chair pulled closer and closer.
And they both like jazz music, and he's like, I have hundreds of jazz records at home. We can listen to all of them.
Years.
It'll take years. And she's like, that's not a bad thing. And I was like, that's really adorable. I love this.
Yeah, I really like the way Donald O'Connor's character is written in this film.
Absolutely.
He tries to kiss her, but she says, better not. Nope. It's only our first night out.
He's like, okay, fair enough. And then she's like,
fine.
let's just walk out these emotions. And
Let's take a walk. And it leads us into the song.
Our
It's
first true
Lovely.
musical number.
Donald O'Connor makes this film a musical and not a movie with music. God bless him. I literally wrote, all caps, bolded, it's alright, it's a musical now.
So he starts to sing the song. It's delightful. It's delicious. It's delovely.
Delovely.
I love this. And it's such a cute dance with the two of them. And it's so flirty and kind of bouncy and like back and forth, and it's lovely.
There was a moment of joy in this where, as much as I love seeing dance live, there was one aspect of it on camera, which is this really quiet, subtle tap flirting. That I think, unless you were in a small intimate theater, it would get lost. But because we were able to have just that be the sound, and we were able to just focus on them, and then, okay, actually, I lied. That wasn't a moment of joy. My moment of joy is they do this, like, cute little flirty, quiet tap. He says something about Bill, and she goes, Bill who? And they both, like, kick out their feet, and the brass kicks in. And it's just like, Bill who? Ba-bam!
And then they move on, and then the next bit is one of my favorite visually, because they're on top of this slight platform on the deck that has these like port lights, the skylights, and so there's these lights coming up from below, and they like keep switching into their different lights around each other, and it's just so beautiful, and they're both good dancers, and it's just it's delightful.
And then the final bit of the song, she climbs up a ladder and he like shimmies up like a pole.
He climbs the other side of the ladder, so they're on the same ladder.
Yeah. But then they slide down this like pole together.
Yeah. While they're kissing, and it's
it ends in a big smooch. And it was just so silly and so joyous. And honestly, this might be my homework of just to watch the Lovely.
I would get on board with that. It was so fun and just sweet and adorable.
And well executed.
Yeah. And so they walk back to her room. So this is a giggle for me because they're supposed to be like cuddling, but the thing is, in her heels, they're about the same height. And so they have their arms linked, and she's trying to lay her head on his shoulder, but since they're the same height, her neck is at a 90-degree angle.
And it's also implied that it's like 6 a.m. Like they have danced the night away.
All night.
He walks her to her room, kiss. Before she goes inside, she asks if they were going to rehearse later that day. And he's like, realizes through his heart eyes, he's like, oh, fuck, I've definitely fallen in love with you.
And I have a different leading lady.
But you're not going to do the show. I'm in deep shit. She goes into her room, because it's 6 a.m. and she needs to go to sleep. Yeah. He goes back to the stateroom that he's sharing with Bill, who is waking up because it's 6 a.m.
Also, why are they sharing a room? Anyway.
You know what?
Perfect for the part. Wait, what?
They could have gotten separate rooms, because you know who they don't have? A director and a stage manager to pay. But perfect. No.
They just wanted to sleep next to each other.
2 twin beds. Ted comes into the room. Bill is waking up. Ted's like, I should have never signed Gabby. Patsy's phenomenal. And Bill's like, finally, we agree on something. And he's like, great, you just told me that. Go tell Gabby that.
He starts to coach him on the best way to break the news. It's like, make sure that it's over like breakfast or lunch. You don't want to do it over dinner. That's too romantic. You want to do it in like an office or somewhere with harsh lighting. Make sure she's fed first.
Feed her first.
Feed her first. And I'm like, well, that does make me more amenable to things. I'm going to be completely honest.
Oh, yeah. And Ted's like, wow, you've got this down to a science. And Bill's like,
you're so good at this. And he's like, well, then, if you have so much experience, maybe you should just do this. And immediately falls asleep with the fakest snoring I've ever heard.
Leaving Bill to do the hard job
of talking to the hot French lady.
So Bill's goes at like 6 a.m. I don't know. Goes in the morning, knock, knock, knock on Gabby's door. Gabby's maid answers. And he's like, can I have breakfast with Gabby? And she's like, oh no, we're not going to be awake for breakfast. He's like, well, what about lunch? She goes, nope, not going to be awake. Tea? Absolutely not. Dinner? Yeah, we'll be awake for dinner. So completely foils his plans to get this handled as soon as possible and to not have it done at dinner.
Absolutely. I love this maid. This maid is the other waiter who is just doing her job.
Yeah. Yeah. We cut to the bar on the ship, and we see Patsy's dad. We haven't said his name yet. His name is Steve. And a stranger comes up to him. Todd. His name is Todd. Patsy's dad's like, oh, can I buy you a drink? He goes, oh, I don't drink when I'm on duty. And he's like, oh, what do you do? And he flips open his police badge. He's an agent for the Treasury Department. And we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Good. Perfect. No notes. Excellent joke. All around.
No,
10 out of 10.
They've been trying to catch him to ask him some questions about his income tax, specifically that he hasn't paid it.
Turns out, surprise, surprise, he's not a gangster. He's a gambler, which as we've learned in Guys and Dolls, there is a difference.
He goes, I'm not a gambler, I'm a mathematical consultant.
So apparently he had a bad 5 years where he didn't win anything, and then he had 1 year where he won $100,000, and he didn't
I had
claim
5 bad years, not my fault, arrest the horses.
And I'm just imagining horses in handcuffs, just like, take me away, officer.
But yeah, he had a great his sixth year where he made $100,000.
Yeah.
But he declared no income because he was in so much debt from the 5 bad years.
So what he claims
gave
is that
all his winnings,
paying everything back, and he was like, I didn't claim anything because I couldn't pay you anything anyway, so I just figured it was easier to not tell you anything.
They're like, that's not how the government
works. Not how taxes work.
Bonkers.
Ugh.
Steve asks Todd, the Treasury Department agent, to lay off him until the boat lands.
It's like, we're on a boat. I'm literally not going anywhere.
Just then, Patsy comes up to him, just says hi. The agent gives them a little bit of space, so they chat, and she says she's meeting Ted for dinner, and he goes, oh, Ted's a nice boy. Mm-hmm. She walks away. Steve, her father, turns around and realizes the agent, Todd, has overheard this. Todd, I can't.
Ted, Todd, and Dan.
Stan?
I said Dan. It just felt like the right
I
one.
was gonna say, I
Anyway.
was like, there's no, don't add names to this, Chris. I can't keep track of the names that we have.
Bing and Bill. All right.
Bong bong English
Bong
bridge.
bong the English bridge.
Look, not my best moment.
Oh no, it is your best though. It is the best. Okay. All right. So cut to dinner with Gabby and Bill.
And it's going great. He
Yeah.
keeps trying to get her to eat because he's trying to not give her the bad news on an empty stomach. And she's like, I'm not hungry.
But he just keeps eating. And she keeps hinting at everything that she can do for him in New York. She's like, yeah, I'm a fabulous cook. I clean the house. You know, everything that I could do for you whenever we get to New York. She's just like, I'm a great housewife. And I'm just like, aren't you also an actor? I don't know what's going on.
And also,
anyway.
He really realizes, he's like, okay, I can't have this conversation over dinner, and I can't go to your cabin, and we shouldn't go to my cabin.
Nope.
You know what's a nice Switzerland neutral territory? I'm gonna take you to the gym. The gym they were rehearsing in. And they go to the gym. She's like, why have you brought me here?
And so she starts to fuck around with a bunch of equipment and just like ignore him completely, basically. And like he tries to tell her that she can't be in the show, but he gets distracted and she looks him weak in the knees, and she looks him dead in the eyes and is like, I love you. And I'm like, whoa.
Her justification is that, like, I'm French. I know these things.
Yeah, I know. And he's like, you don't even know me. And she's like, that's not my fault. And I'm like, that is funny.
Yes.
That's
she's got
amazing.
phenomenal lines. She asks him why he has never married, and he goes, I never wanted to before. Now. Big kiss, big musical swoosh.
Oh, yeah. Then,
Wait, they sit on the floor, like leaning against the railing with the moonlight on the ocean behind them.
Bing starts to sing. And I say Bing, not Bill.
Why are you making that stipulation?
Because it just didn't, I don't know.
Because it didn't feel like a naturally...
It just felt like here's Bing Crosby singing this absolutely fabulous song. And I'm just like, I'm okay with this. Like, technically, it's a song that comes out of nowhere. So
yeah, so it is a musically spontaneous song. I hear you where it's like, we're gonna give Bing a song now, which proves the point yet again of Donald O'Connor making this a musical. I know!
Because it felt way more natural when he did it than when Bing did it.
But he starts to sing all through the night.
Ugh.
Which is one of my favorite songs from
So
Anything
good.
Goes. The lyrics make sense.
Oh,
That's
don't
the
you
bar.
just love it?
When the lyrics make sense.
The lyrics make sense. I get so happy.
And I was happy until
she's then like, sing it to me in French. And I'm like, what?
And he's like, I don't think I can do
He's
that.
like, I don't think I can do that. She's like, I'll give you the words. And like, it's not a direct translation. My French is shaky at best, but it is not a direct translation. She's just like giving him phrases that match the tone.
So she somehow did the musical math in her head of like, what's gonna translate to the same number of beats so it flows in the same melody. So she is a genius. And it's never addressed again.
Ever again.
Okay. And he just like fully falls in love with her.
Yep.
He tells her that she's gonna be a sensation in this show in New York.
And then we move into the Dream Ballet.
You know, every good musical needs a dream ballet.
Anna, why did this exist? It was literally just to show off that she's a ballerina and that she dances in point. She's a fabulous dancer. She didn't have a good dance number, so they faked something up.
Alright, I'm gonna say something controversial, but first,
Tell me.
this dream ballet that she has is her imagining her success in New York. It's her name in lights. First, she like meets some young kids that like want her autograph or whatever, and then she has backup dancers. It's to an orchestration of All Through the Night. She is on point the entire time. It's a long number. Okay, I'm gonna say something controversial.
What's your hot take?
She's very clearly a very talented dancer.
Yes.
And I could tell at some points that they had probably shot this for like days. And like, dear listener, I am not a dancer. I have had a lot of years of dance training. I love dance. I am never going to call myself a dancer. Like, I can move well when given enough time to prepare. But I've taken a lot of dance classes, and I know your extensions are like half the battle.
Yeah.
And I could tell at
tired.
some points she was tired and her extensions just didn't reach as much as I knew they could.
I had that vibe too.
Okay, it feels like such a silly thing to like get caught up in. I don't know what the rehearsal schedule was like. I don't know what the film schedule was like.
Yeah.
but I could tell that she could have gone further at some times. And, like,
Yeah.
I'm not here to judge that, because you know
Or,
what
like,
it
if
takes
there's
to
been
make a
better
movie musical?
takes, and, like, they just chose the best conglomeration one that they could find, and it just
Yeah.
wasn't.
And they
the
were
one that-
long takes.
Yeah, it was fucking long, man. Yeah, I completely agree. I felt like she was better than what was showcased.
Yeah. All right. End of gripe. I'm
End
not
of
saying
gripe.
she's a bad dancer. She's a
Not at all.
phenomenal dancer. I think
She's so
the
good.
editing probably
Didn't do her
did
any
her
favors.
dirty.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, cut back. She says that she's going to be fabulous on stage in her very French accent. And suddenly, Bill is like, right, I was
Oh,
supposed to
fuck.
fire you. Oops.
And as they get up to leave the gymnasium, he goes, oh boy, does Ted have a problem. Because he couldn't go through with firing her. Cut to the next day. Up on deck, the outside deck, Ted is there. Gabby comes up to him. He's like, oh, hey, how are you feeling? Thinking that Bill fired her the night before and she's going to have her feelings hurt. And she goes, oh, I feel great. And Ted is confused.
Yes, and he was just like, yeah, it was all Bill's idea. She's like, I should hope so. Which, since we
Yeah,
find
he's like,
out
"Oh."
later that they slept together, makes it very funny.
Spoiler alert, Gabby and Bill
Yeah.
absolutely slept together last night. Ted asks, like, oh, didn't Bill upset you last night? She goes, no.
Nope.
But then Ted, he's like, you know, it was Bill's idea to buy you off. You know, the show just wasn't right for you. And she realizes and is justifiably furious. Just then, Bill shows up.
Of course. So she looks at him and says, I have an ironclad contract.
Good luck getting me out of the show. Fuck you, essentially. And she storms
Goodbye.
off.
And Bill is very confused until Ted explains.
Ted immediately realizes what's happened. He apologizes to Bill. He's like, I
"Oh,
absolutely
no."
bungled that. And Bill's like, I don't know if I can fix this. Like, she's very strong-minded. They go for a walk. We quickly cut to Patsy's dad and Todd, the Treasury agent. They're walking down the hall, and the agent says to her dad, we're docking
Remember-
tomorrow. We're gonna pick you up, arrest you, essentially, as soon as we
Basically.
get to land.
So Steve goes into Patsy's room. She's packing, and she's like, oh, what's the first thing you want to do whenever we get to shore? You and Ted should take me out on the town. I'll get in my best dress, and we'll just go to a restaurant and go dancing, and it'll be a great time. And her dad is like, listen, when we land, I'm going to have to go away for a while. And suddenly...
But first, she can tell something's up.
Yeah.
Like, he's not responding to, like, her suggestions the way that she thought. So she's like, what's wrong? And he says, I have some unfinished business, and when we land, I need to go away for a while.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, I'm gonna escape the police.
Or go to jail. I couldn't tell if he meant I was gonna, like, go on the lam, or I'm gonna go to jail.
Maybe it means that he has to go to prison.
Yeah.
Regardless, he has to go away for a while.
Yes.
During this conversation, Gabby
walks in.
enters Patsy's room silently and overhears this conversation that they're having.
Yes.
I cannot remember. Either Patsy or her father says, we can't go on living like criminals.
Yes, Patsy says this. And she's like, I thought you handled everything you said. Like, I wouldn't have accepted this role if I had known that it meant that you were going to get arrested. You can't keep living like this. And he says, you know, I made this choice myself. You have to pursue your own life. I knew that this was a possibility in coming back, but I wanted you to have this role. I wanted you to have this dream. It's something you've been working towards. And I made this decision on my own. At this point, and
she does say,
we'll hire the best lawyers because of this role that I have. I'll have money.
This show is going to be like me stepping into the next tier of my career. I will have the financial stability. We can get the best lawyers. We can get around this.
It's at this point that Gabby backs out.
Gabby has heard all this and leaves. No one knew she was there.
Right.
Patsy at this point says, you know what? I'm not going to drag Ted into this mess.
Right.
I need to go take a walk. And she leaves her father in the bedroom looking despondent.
Yes. Cut to Ted practicing a speech. Adorable.
To himself.
To himself. He's like doing a full conversation to a chair. He's in full public. People are walking past him. It's ridiculous.
She comes up and he's like, I'm so excited for like the plans that we're gonna have when we're in New York.
Our first stop is going to be where my parents got engaged. Like,
specifically where his mother proposed to his father.
Oh, was that what he said? I missed that. I love it.
Yeah, that's what he said. Where my mother proposed to my father. Because I'm going to bring that up later.
Yeah.
But she says, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be too busy. And he's like, oh no, that's fine. Like, I figured you were gonna, like, have plans, but, like, we can still do stuff. She goes, no, I'm gonna be too busy
Indefinitely.
from now on. Too busy for you.
Yes.
And he goes, what did I do? And it was so
sad.
heartbreaking.
And then she's like, last night was just for laughs. And I was like, brutal. God, and his face.
He was, like, planning how many kids they were gonna have.
Yeah.
And she reminds him, she's like, then this is a business relationship. This is just bad news for us to get involved. So he leaves, and she immediately bursts into tears.
And he walks away and does the most stunning pratfall I have ever seen on camera. All of his limbs go into the air. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I was so confused because it happened so quickly. I was just like, what? Ted doesn't know what's happening. He, like, looks and he's like, did you fucking trip me to, like, a guy? And he's like, no. And he realizes he slipped on a ball that has bounced out onto the deck from the children's playroom. Yeah. He sees this little girl peeking. He's like, oh, is this yours? Here, I'm getting it. And she goes, like, I can't come out. I'm a prisoner. He's like, okay, I will bring it into this children's playroom. I'm a grown man. I'm gonna go into this children's room.
It'll be fine. And, like, it is. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. He goes into the room. He quickly realizes that not only has this girl, like, not really allowed to play this ball, she has a crush on a boy, and he's intentionally not playing with her. So he steals the ball from a child. Like, taking candy from a baby. And he gives the ball to her, but she's sad and inconsolable because, like, still this little boy doesn't like her.
Yes.
And he says to her, oh, one little love affair gone wrong doesn't mean your life is over, even though that's absolutely what just happened to him.
Absolutely.
And he cheers her up by starting to sing the song, You Can Bounce Right Back. Again, only Donald O'Connor making this a musical.
Yeah. Honestly, he's such a good tapper.
He's like, oh my god, this number is not in the stage show.
Good.
This number solely exists to showcase Donald O'Connor's tap skills, and it's wholly unnecessary. It is very joyous.
It's just him playing with bouncy balls and tapping around children. So he finishes the song, and Bill is there, and Bill is like, oh, look at you!
What are you doing?
What are you doing? And so he ends up leaving with Bill, and he tells him, me and Patsy had a fight. And then Bing Crosby says the very problematic line, show her who's the boss. And he said, I did, she is. To which I replied, correct!
We love you, Ted. Which is why I was like, I think you were raised by a strong woman.
I think you were too.
Your mother proposed to your father.
Honestly, it reminded me very much of the whole scene that he had with Marilyn Monroe in There's No Business, where she was like, what if you marry a woman who doesn't want to be a housewife? And he's like, then I'll open doors for her. And I'm like, fuck yes, Donald O'Connor.
We love him supporting strong women in a time where stereotypes were like
Bing
women
Crosby.
were kept at home. Yeah. We're being perpetrated by Bing Crosby.
At that point, Ted is like, oh, like you said this shit to me. How are you doing with Gabby? And he's like, oh, she's not talking to me. It's like, yeah.
Another strong woman who's too smart for you, you dumb
Too smart
man.
for you.
And Ted says, like, I can't lose Patsy now. I've been waiting my whole life for her. Mm-hmm. Bill says, you know what?
I've thought of something.
While you were playing with these children, I used my brain, and I figured out our whole leading lady problem. And how to keep both girls involved. And Ted's like, oh, how? And
Explain it to me.
I'll explain to you.
And then.
And just then. Well, it becomes a recurring gag.
Oh, it's
Two
so funny.
French sailors come on screen, stand in front of Bill and Ted, talk very loudly in French.
Arguing in French.
We cannot hear the conversation. And just loudly French at each other over the dialogue. And then they walk away, and Bill's like, oh, yeah, and so that's my plan. And Ted's like, that's a great plan.
Oh, it's so funny. So they're just like, okay, so how do we get Gabby out of her room? She is a independent woman who don't need no man. How do I convince her?
And doesn't want to do what she doesn't want to do.
And doesn't have to deal with you. How do I convince her? And so Ted's like, I'll do a magic trick. And is like, bibbity bobbity boo. And at that moment, Gabby walks around the corner and he's just like, ta-da!
Gabby comes up to Bill. Ted walks away. He's like, I gotta go lay down after all that magic. She gives him her contract back. She's like, I don't want anything to do with this show. Here's your fucking ironclad contract. I'm doing you a favor. I'm not going to be a part of this show.
Bill does say, like, he does admit it's like, yes, I signed another girl originally, but, and she was like, oh, so, like, everything that you said last night was just to make love to me, and, like, another girl walks past why she says that, and they're just like, anyway, goes back to the conversation.
That they
I
mentioned
was
that.
shocked that they fucked, like,
I'm not shocked that they fucked, I'm shocked that it was mentioned, and not just, like,
that's what I'm
implied.
saying, like,
Yeah,
it was, like, hands down, like, we made love last night, and I was just like, oh, damn.
And he's like, I don't regret anything I said last night.
Instead of explaining the plan, he tells her, you have to do the show, which, if anyone has ever met me, is a big old trigger for me, because there's very few things in this life that I have to do, and she has the exact same reaction, where she's like, I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do, and then dips out.
Storms off.
Correct.
We love Gabby.
Love Gabby.
I will not be forced to do anything I don't want to do. Gabby storms off. Just then Gabby's maid comes up to Bill, and she's like, come here, you big dummy.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why Gabby won't do the show.
Yes.
But we don't get to know that. We fade into Bill and Ted's stateroom.
Yeah.
Bill comes in. He's like, all right, we got to get to battle stations. And he tells Ted that his father-in-law might have to go to prison.
Well, because Ted is like, I don't want to leave. Patsy might call. And he was like, Patsy's not going to call. But, like, listen, how would you feel if your father-in-law had to go to prison? And he was like, oh, I don't really care. Wait, what?
So we are learning that, like, Gabby told her maid what she overheard in Patsy's conversation with her father. And then her maid told Bill, who's telling Ted now.
What I thought was that the reason why Gabby gave the contract was because this show is so important to Patsy. Because it will help her hire lawyers to get her father out of jail. Which makes Gabby the best character. She sacrificed a career-changing move. She is on a boat to a country where she knows no one. And this girl who she has talked to for 30 seconds says, I need this job so my dad can get out of jail. And she immediately is like, absolutely, it's yours. I love Gabby.
Love Gabby. We fade from the stateroom to Bill catching the captain up on deck. The captain is also French.
Yes.
And he asks for his help, and the captain knows Bill. He's like, oh, yeah, anything for you. And again, our sailors come in.
He's like, I have a plan, and the sailors come in.
And talk over the plan until they leave, and the captain's like, oh yeah, I'll absolutely help you with your plan. We fade to dinner. It's the final night on the ship, so it's always, like, the fanciest. There's dancing. Bill, Ted, and the captain are, like, peeking around the doors of this dining room, like, looking for the girls.
Yeah.
The captain sees Patsy coming. He's like, all right, Bill, Ted, get the fuck out of here. He goes up to Patsy, and he greets her. He's like, oh, I'm so glad you accepted my invitation to dine with me tonight. And she goes, I can't stay long. I have this terrible headache. But she goes to sit at the table. Just then, Gabby walks up. Also gives the exact same line, being like, I'm not gonna stay, I have a headache. And she sat at a table at the other end of the dining room. Just then, dinner and a show, y'all. The captain introduces Bill for a surprise performance of the song A Secondhand Turban and a Crystal Ball. Also not in the show.
No. So, I would like to say that their banter in this song is very funny. However, given the context of what they are trying to accomplish, this entire song is massively inappropriate. Bing Crosby and Donald O'Connor have great chemistry, and it's very funny. However, what they are trying to do is to convince these girls to give them a second chance.
Which they do not deserve.
And they make it all about them. It is nothing about the women, and it is all about their performance.
And it's in a public place where everyone's watching them be interacted with. They're just sitting at tables by themselves. Okay, so the gist of the performance is Bing Crosby is like a mind reader or whatever, and he gets Donald O'Connor, Ted, to, like, be his assistant. Bill is sitting on a table with this crystal ball. They go from table to table. There's a lot of vaudeville physical comedy. You can tell that Bing Crosby and Donald O'Connor had a fucking blast.
They loved
doing this.
Absolutely.
They were laughing, and Mitzi Gaynor's fucking laughing.
Yeah. Gabby has no chill.
Stone-faced. Yeah. And I was like, I can tell you're having fun. In the context of this, like, this is a terrible decision for your characters and, like,
horrible
not
choice.
Worth being forgiven.
But very fun number if you take it out of context.
Very fun number to watch.
At one point, like, Bing steals Gabby's watch. At another point, Ted implies that Patsy is not a natural blonde, and I'm like,
Oh, is that
why
what
are
that
you
is?
Yeah, because he was just like, oh, is she like a brunette or a blonde? And it's like, and he guesses brunette, and it's like, oh no, she's a blonde. He's like, give her 6 months. And I was like, what the
Is
fuck
that what he
are
said?
you doing? I thought you needed these girls to like you again.
On your
It was just such
side.
poor choices. And then they start to sing the love songs that each of them had sung before. They should have started with this, but instead they decided to insult the women. And by the time that they get to the love song, the women have been like, peace out, and they're both gone.
Fuck this. Gone.
Oh my
Gone.
God.
Spotlight on empty chairs. And Bill and Ted are like, oh,
Empty
fuck.
chairs and empty tables.
They find them. Bill goes and finds Gabby. Ted goes and finds Patsy. It makes it seem like they're very separate. They're maybe like 5 feet apart from each other,
5 feet
out
apart.
on the deck,
Everyone can
overlooking
hear
the water.
everything.
And they're like, hey, I know you're mad at me. We found a way to save the show. We're gonna rewrite the entire show, and it's just gonna be, what is the plot of this film?
Yeah.
It's about 2 guys who need to find leading ladies, and they both accidentally
They hire 2 of them.
I was just like, this is what we just saw.
I'm glad the French sailors covered it up, because I would have had notes earlier.
The girls agree.
Yeah, because love.
Patsy's father and Todd, the Treasury not the
Treasury
Treasury
Secretary!
the agent of the U.S. Treasury.
The Treasury Secretary is gone to a boat to capture this one guy.
They're like standing, they're invited over, and they come over to cheers to the new show with our foursome. And Ted asks Steve, being like, oh, when are you gonna come see the show? The treasury agent whispers in his ear. Steve says, you better have a smash. I'm gonna be gone for a long time. Like, that's brutal.
Oh.
But cut to Broadway.
Yeah.
They have renamed the show, whatever the name of the show was, it has now been renamed You're the Top.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, did you hear that? Tap. You're the top. And it says underneath, like, second smash year. So, like, the show has been running a long time.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. We cut to the middle of a performance. Ted is alone on stage, and he starts to sing the beginning of the song, Blow, Gabriel, Blow.
Yes.
And a bunch of ensemble dancers in tuxes, like, emerge from the background. Yeah.
And this song happens. And then during the jazz square sequence, Patsy sees her dad in the audience and it's just like, oh, he's here to see me. And then it's the end.
Yeah. 2 things really quickly. One, I love what Hollywood thinks the proportions of Broadway stages are.
I know.
Like, Broadway theaters can be deep, but, like, they're not
Do
that
you think
deep.
this isn't Madison Square? Like, it's not that big.
And then, however Mitzi Gaynor was singing this, whatever vocal inflection she had, she said, blow your harn.
Harn.
Like Harn. Blow your harn. Oh. Blow, Gabriel, Blow is also a Cole Porter song that makes absolutely no fucking sense.
No. And,
So,
that's the end.
That's the end. And, like, so we could get away with some of the weird Cole Porter lyrics in this film because they were in the context of, like, I'm just singing a song.
A random song.
As in, like, this is a song in the performance, or this is a song in a show we're gonna do. Where, like, in the stage show, they try to make more sense of these nonsense lyrics, and, like, the logic ain't there.
Logic ain't there. Shaky sweaters.
Wow.
All right.
You're still with us. You're welcome. We are now in the part of the episode where we have some drinks and we talk about dramaturgy, and I'm really excited. I really enjoyed just going through this bonkers film.
So, Anna, what did you think of this movie?
I'm kind of conflicted. I liked it. First things first, I liked it. I recognize that the stage show, the plot, deeply flawed. But being in this show was like a major life point for me as a high schooler who wanted to do theater. So, like, I recognize it deeply flawed now. I still have a lovely place in my heart for many of the songs.
It holds good memories.
I'm nostalgic for some aspects of it, and knowing it was going to be so drastically different, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like it, because all I have known is this very different version, and I thoroughly enjoed this. I'm not going to say it's a perfect film. I would give it like a 7.5?
Yeah.
Yeah, might even throw a half in
And,
there.
like, in general, I really enjoyed this movie. I found the ending to be a bit lackluster, but in general, I enjoyed the relationships that they had with each other and the teasing and the interactions. And so in general, I did enjoy this movie. 7.5 for me.
I just watched White Christmas, and it's the same thing where, like, you can tell when Bing Crosby breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And I could just tell he was having so much fun in some
Absolutely.
of these numbers. And, like,
oh yeah, especially the turban and the crystal ball scene.
yeah, I wish that number wasn't so problematic in the plot.
Inappropriate?
Really
yeah.
it.
Because also just like this entire time, Donald O'Connor has been pushing him around the stage, and then suddenly he's like, I need an audience member that I've never met before, and then upsettles Donald O'Connor. He's like, have we ever met? He's like, absolutely not.
All right.
Do we want to do some dramaturgy?
Dramaturgy report. This was directed by Robert Lewis, who was an American actor, director, teacher, and founder of the Actors Studio in New York. In addition to his accomplishments on Broadway and in Hollywood, his greatest and longest lasting contribution to American theater might be his role as one of the foremost acting and directing teachers of his day. He was an early proponent of the Stanislavski system, and he was a founding member of New York's The Group Theater.
Mm-hmm.
He is a fascinating person, and I could spend a whole podcast talking about him and his role as an acting teacher and directing teacher, as well as, like, his work as an actor in Hollywood and on Broadway. We do not have the time, so maybe that will also be my homework, is just, like, learn about Robert Lewis. He was a fascinating contributor to the American theater.
Amazing.
The cinematographer was John F. Warren. He was nominated for an Academy Award on the film The Country Girl, which starred Bing Crosby, Grace Kelly, and William Holden. It was his first film credit. I don't know what he was doing before that.
Hot damn.
But he was nominated for an Oscar.
Starting strong.
Starting strong. He went on to do a lot of TV series work as the director of photography, including 7 combined total years on the TV series Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Ooh.
That's me.
Cool. So the writer of this screenplay, there were 2 of them, Sidney Sheldon. He was prominent in the 30s, first working on Broadway plays and then on motion pictures, and most notably writing the successful comedy The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer in 1947, which got him an Oscar. Then went on to work in television, where his works spanned like a 20-year period, where he created The Patty Duke Show, I Dream of Jeannie, and Heart to Heart. After turning 50, he began writing best-selling romantic suspense novels, and his 18 novels have sold over 300 million copies in 51 languages. He is consistently cited as one of the top 10 best-selling fiction writers of all time. So I want to add a couple of his books to my list. The other screenwriter is Howard Lindsay. He was an American theatrical producer, playwright, librettist, director, and actor. He was best known for his writing work as part of the collaboration of Lindsay and Krauss. In 1960, he and Krauss won the Tony Award for Best Musical for The Sound of Music. Now, as we said, the screenplay for this was vastly different than the original musical. So there was a 1936 musical film version that was released with Bing Crosby and Ethel Merman that followed the plot of the original stage musical. However, everything for this was drastically rewritten. Now, I'm not going to go over the background of the stage musical because it's not the same. I will cover that whenever we get to the 1936 version. I will go through the history of the stage musical of Anything Goes. There was also a television version of this that was done in 1954, which also had Ethel Merman at the age of 46 reprising her role as Reno, and it had Frank Sinatra. So, for the music and lyrics, obviously most of it was Cole Porter, and I'm pretty sure I discussed Cole Porter pretty aggressively during Kiss Me Kate. So what I'm going to talk about is the other songs that were written that weren't Cole Porter. So, filming took place in April and May of 1955, and the primary musical numbers that appear in the film were sort of updated arrangements, but the lesser-known Cole Porter songs were completely cut. They were like, people don't know it, don't need to hear it. And new songs were written by Jimmy Van Heusen and Sammy Kahn. And these were You Can Bounce Right Back and the secondhand turban and crystal ball.
Right.
Yeah. So James Van Heusen was an American composer. He wrote songs for films, television, theater, and won an Emmy and 4 Academy Awards for Best Original Song. Samuel Cohen was an American lyricist, songwriter, and musician. He is best known for his romantic lyrics to films and Broadway songs, and as well as standalone songs premiered by recording companies in LA. His most enduring song is Let It Snow. Over the course of his career, he was nominated for 31 Academy Awards, 5 Golden Globes, and an Emmy Award. So those two guys were the ones who wrote the songs that were not Cole Porter songs. Now for actors. We've already discussed Bing Crosby whenever we did A Connecticut Yankee, and I'm saving Mitzi Gaynor for whenever we do South Pacific. So today is Donald O'Connor.
Yay!
He was born August 28th, 1925. He was an American singer, dancer, and actor. His best-known works came in the film Singin' in the Rain, for which he was awarded a Golden Globe, and he also won a Primetime Emmy Award and received 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame throughout his career. He joined a dance act with his mother and elder brother Jack in vaudeville. They were billed as the O'Connor family, and they were the royal family of vaudeville. So they toured the country doing singing and dancing and comedy and acting. When they were not touring, they stayed with the O'Connor's Uncle Bill in Illinois. So Donald O'Connor never went to school. He later said, I learned 2 dance routines, and I looked like the world's greatest dancer. I did triple wings and everything. I never had any formal training. So when I went into movies and started working with all of these great dancers, I had a terrible time. I couldn't pick up the routines because I didn't have any formal training. And at the age of 15, I really had to learn how to dance, and that is quite old for someone to start dancing professionally. And he eventually received an offer to play Cosmo, the piano player in Singin' in the Rain in 1952 at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. The most distinctive characteristics of his dancing style is his athleticism, for which he had very few rivals, yet it was always his boyish charm that audiences found most engaging and which remained an appealing aspect of his personality throughout his career. And he ended up passing in 2003 from heart complications. So that's Donald O'Connor.
I love him.
I love him too.
Okay.
Reception?
I don't have a lot for awards and reception. I don't have anything for awards. This film got kind of mixed reviews. There's nothing on Rotten Tomatoes critically. We've already kind of talked about dancing in terms of Donald O'Connor and Jean-Marie could like dance circles around Mitzi Gaynor and Bing Crosby. But yeah, this really was a good dancing show from our leads and also like many background dancers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we got different styles.
We did. That was very nice. For singing, and I think what you said earlier was correct, is that Mitzi Gaynor was not portrayed in the best way she possibly could be, in terms of her vocals. I know that she...
For DeLovely, it
DeLovely
was
better
good, than Anything Goes.
That's true, but...
I mean, okay. I'm gonna raise my hand. Anything Goes is not normally sung by the same person that sings DeLovely.
Yeah, so I felt like this wasn't her best showcase. Do you have any gripes?
I know I had gripes.
So my gripe was the dream ballet sequence. Which was so unnecessary. I just wish that they had
Did it advance the plot?
It did not. Because I know that they were trying to showcase Gabby's fabulous ballet skills. And I wish that there had been a better way to integrate that made more sense with the plot, rather than her just being like, let me fantasize about this fabulous number that I'm gonna do. Like, it just felt forced.
Yeah. I guess my gripe is that the whole plot with the father being a gambler...
Gangster.
I feel like I just needed one more scene about that to really make me care about it. Or to, like, fully understand the stakes.
Yeah, I liked the scene with her and the dad and her being like, I wouldn't have come if I'd known that it meant you were getting arrested. I felt like that scene had good stakes. And I liked the fact that Gabby heard that, and that was really interesting. But it only happened once, and it wasn't the main point. It was like a C-level plot.
I didn't think he was going to end up going to jail.
I thought he was going to escape.
I didn't think that he was going to escape. I thought there was going to be some last minute,
Mm.
oh, we'll have a workaround, or like we'll make a deal so that he doesn't
he went
go
to
to
jail.
prison. No, he went to prison.
Yep.
And other than that, I wanted a scene between the girls. I wanted a scene between Gabby and
I wanted
Patsy.
a scene between them. Yeah. What was your giggle?
Just physical comedy, like the phenomenal
French
physical
sailors.
comedy. Oh, I'm sorry. Physical comedy was like my general giggle, but my specific giggle was from It's DeLovely, the Bill Who, like the brass kicking in from the quiet. I
then
lost it.
my giggle was so early on, which was the attempted tambourine juggling, which is just one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
We had waiters and gangsters in this film. We
Did
didn't
we have
really
a
have any
goon?
goons.
I would say the closest goon that we had is the stuttering guy.
Yeah,
But not
barely.
really.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you could call our French sailors goons, but
No, they were
not
too perfect.
Really. No, we had no like lackeys. You know?
Nah.
We didn't have any like.
But the maid and Victor were our true waiters of just like, I know what my job is and I am doing my job.
Do you have any fun facts or trivia?
I thought you were going to talk about it earlier. The word changes that they did
The
in
four-letter
Anything
word?
Goes. Yeah, the four-letter word. Yeah.
I saved it for this because I talked about it earlier.
Go for it. Take it. I've
So-
taken your fun facts before, so you take this one.
In the song Anything Goes, a lot of lyrics were changed in this film in multiple songs, but the one that I first noticed, because it's the second song of this film, the lyric is, good authors too, who once knew better words, now only use four-letter words writing prose, implying that they're using naughty words. Curse words, swears. But in this film, that lyric was changed to good authors too who once knew better words, now only use three-letter words. And I heard that and I was like, what? Why? And it's because the Production Code Administration banned the phrase four-letter words because it implies obscenity. So they were like, nah, three-letter words.
Which is
what is a
wild.
three-letter word?
Can't even mention it. I was like, what is a three-letter word? Ass. Do you
have any other fun facts, or did I just steal that one?
I don't. No, that's okay.
Well, this is a very long episode.
Yes, it is. Homework. Everyone should go watch It's Delightful. It's delicious.
DeLovely.
It's
DeLovely.
And
then there was something else.
and then you also wanted people to look up the director.
Oh, yeah. So that's actual homework. DeLovely isn't that much homework. DeLovely you're going to enjoy. And that's all she wrote.
That's
I
Anything Goes. This version of it.
I enjoyed this more than I thought I was going to. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I know.
7.5 out of 10. This has been 5678, a movie musical podcast. If you're still here, thank you so much for listening. You can follow us on all the social medias. We are at 5678, a movie musical podcast on Instagram and Facebook, 5678 podcast on Twitter. We have a website. We have an email, which is 5678, a movie musical podcast at gmail.com. Throw us into a star. Leave us some reviews on whatever streaming platform. We have a lot of new listeners that we're so excited to have you here.
Hello.
Follow us on social media for dramaturgical facts about current episodes and sneak peeks of upcoming episodes.
I'm so excited for next one. So the next one is our
have-
season 1 finale.
Ooh!
And oh boy, I chose a good one, y'all.
Grace always chooses and I never remember. So it's always
That's
a
okay.
surprise for me. Thank you so much for listening. Tune into our next episode. That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
I have been Anna.
I'm still Grace.
Goodbye.
Bye.
5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.